Congress passed significant immigration changes with plenty of Florida input as migrant and border issues dominate campaigns on both state and presidential campaign trails. Here to talk about that and a lot more, South Florida Congressman Carlos Gimenez. Congressman, always great to have you on the program.
It's great to be back, Luana.
So I want to get into that, but first, a quick question about this 11th hour crisis averted and the deal that keeps the U.S. from defaulting on its debts in an historical way. You were a yes vote on that deal, but the Florida delegation, members of Congress, were really split on that. A lot of your upstate colleagues were ready to go off the cliff. What do you make of that?
Well, I don't think much of it. I think we have differences of opinion. Obviously, look, sometimes you have to negotiate. Sometimes you have to deal with the cards that you're dealt. Republican majority is only one half of 1/3 of government is in Republican hands. And so when you have that, and when you have a president that said there's never going to negotiate, and then once you get up to the negotiating table and actually does negotiate, you can't expect to get everything that you ask for. And so I think it was a decent deal for the American people. We need to get America back on track. We're going off the financial cliff. That doesn't mean that we've averted it. What it means that we've diverted it for a while. But eventually we need to really get our financial house in order. We cannot continue to borrow trillions of dollars to pay for the trillions of dollars that we borrow. That's financial suicide, and any household will tell you that has a household budget. You can't borrow money to pay for the money that you were borrowing. And
it's kind of like a Ponzi scheme.
We need to get off that. Yeah, we need to get off that.
So let me ask you, I want to go back to compromise, because you know you've been on the program. We love to kind of spread the love in a very divisive time. You've been Team McCarthy since day one. I actually remember talking about that with you on this program. Do you credit this compromise to both the Speaker and the President? And might this compromise, no one gets everything, but everyone gets a little something, is that a possible blueprint for fixing the division right now?
Well, look, the only way that you can get compromise if you have leverage, and now we have leverage because we hold the majority in the House of Representatives. And yes, I do credit the Speaker. Nobody thought that we would ever, increase the debt limit to begin with. Remember, that was passed purely on partisan lines. We asked for a whole bunch of other things in order to increase the debt limit, but that brought the president to the table. Now, if some of my colleagues thought that, hey, we had to get everything that we had passed, I think they were a little bit unrealistic. And so when the deal came back, it said we reduced the future deficit by $2 trillion. We got major reform on permitting, which is really necessary for our energy industry, both renewable and our fossil fuel industry, to get back on track, and other projects that we need to get going much quicker than before. We've got some hooks there. If the administration decides to spend more than $100 million, they have to pay for it. They just can't issue all these edicts. And so, yeah, I think we got some really good things out of it. I think the president got some good things out of it too. Look, some of the permitting issues, it's not just us on the Republican side that wanted our fossil fuel industry and permits to go faster, pipelines, et cetera, but he also had renewable permits that are being, hung up in the federal permitting process, which is, by the way, it's legendary. It takes years and years and years to get anything done. And so we streamlined that. So, yeah, I thought it was a good deal, and it was a good bipartisan deal. We weren't really happy, 100% happy. The president's not 100% happy. That makes it a good deal.
That's a good tweet for you today. Congressman, yeah. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, you've been really strong on the border issue. You've been to the border, you work on immigration a lot, and you live in an immigrant-rich district and a little end of the peninsula of our state. The recent bill that passed the House, the Secure Border Act, that was sponsored by your colleague, Mario Diaz-Balart, Republican of Miami. It has a lot of things about border security, restarting the border wall, building resources for enforcement, but it also takes away things like some of the protections for shelters and licensing for unaccompanied minors, and loosens kind of the rules around specifically the minors who come across the border. And I wonder if you would sort of give us your perspective on why that would be okay.
Well, because right now you have 85,000 minors that are unaccounted for. We don't know where the heck they are. You think that that's something as inhumane as maybe keeping them and teaching them, et cetera? How about letting them loose on the country and not even know where they are, who they're with,
Well, aren't
what
they,
they're doing?
aren't they placed
So,
with shelters
so
or family or
no,
sponsors?
no, no, they're not. No, the report by the New York Times is there are 85,000 minors that were let in. Nobody knows where they are. All right, that's inhumane. Okay, so what we tried to do with this bill is say, look, you're an unaccompanied minor. We're going to try to get you back to your family, back in your country of origin, back to the people who love you, people that will protect you, not some unknown people here in the United States, like 85,000 minors. We don't even know where they are. All right, so you have to look at what's really happening. This crisis at the border is out of control. The law says that if you come into the United States seeking asylum, you will be held. You will be held in the United States until your asylum hearing is held, or you will be held in another country. The Biden administration just said, no, forget it. Everybody just walks in. That's unacceptable. We
Well,
have
actually,
5 million
excuse me,
immigrants that have come in.
the Biden administration's new immigration rules are just that, staying in the third country before and applying
Sure.
for asylum.
Sure.
That is the rules at the moment. Do you know?
Sure. I've got a bridge for you in Brooklyn, by the way, Glenn, if you want to buy it. Don't ever listen to what the Biden administration tells you. Watch what they're doing. And they're not doing that. All right. Because they don't have the capacity. They're the ones that invited everybody to come in, and they're all coming in. And so they're being processed and they're being let go in the United States of America. Don't believe a word of that. Oh, everything is okay now. It's not okay. It's still out of control.
Just for the record,
all due in fact to them.
Just for the record, I've never heard everything is okay now, and I've heard on all sides people saying it's not okay, but new rules do exist from the Biden administration trying to address those. That's whether they're working or not is for you and your colleagues to say.
Glenna, come on, okay? From day one, okay, Secretary Mayorkas has said that the border is under control. He's been telling us for 2 years. So, President Biden says there's no problem at the border. He doesn't even go to the border, okay? So come on, really? Are you telling me that the new rules are going to fix everything? Look, it's his policies. It's obvious that he wants open borders. That's what the extreme left wants, is open borders, which is all this chaos. By the way, we have about 5 million that we know that are in the United States. There's another 2 million.
Okay, hold on. With 30 seconds, 30 seconds left for us to talk, I just want to stipulate that I've never heard anyone want open borders. Your colleague, Senator Rick Scott, was here just a few weeks ago and changed from open borders to insecure borders on this program, which I just throw out there because there's that. One last question.
You'll never hear him say open borders. It's what he's doing. Remember, never listen to what he says. Watch what he does. Okay? So that's where I'm going to disagree with you, Glenna. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I got to go because we have a commercial to hit. But I do invite you back soon because we have a lot more to talk about, as we always do.
I think we do. Thank you, Glenna.
Thanks so much. Take care.